Hey, yo, what is fucking good? Hey, Finn. Hey, Holy Pangolin. Hey, Blecker. Hey, Pixel Dimensions. Golden Fighting Link. Slippin' Jimmy's.
I envy things that I'm not. I will get there. Just give one more shot.
Hey, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Atrioc broadcast here on April 7th, 2020. I took my watch for that. April 7th, 2025. Good to fucking see you. Howdy. Wait, let me get this a little fixed up. How was dinner? It was great. I had a very tasty chicken broccoli soup thing that I already made. Hey, Mikey Mac 2214, thank you for the 5 months. Seth Boutillier, thank you for the prime. Hello, Bluty. Strange question. I didn't have a glizzy soup. Chicken soup. Raisin Doc, welcome to the stream. First time. Your camera's blocked on the right side. Oh. Wait, you're actually right. What is that? There, I fixed it. I think. You know what it was? I'm going to tell you what it was. Fucking Quack and Adish were in here messing with my shit. I have a system. I walk in on here and they were fucking moving shit around. Okay? They were trying to make it better. No, it's not as need to be better. It's already perfect. Now my shit's all messed up. Oh, God. I can tell the difference. Yeah, and it's worse, right? And it's worse. Doesn't it feel worse? It feels something's off. God, something's off. But I do think they set up the PS5, so I can't be too mad. This is my crash out on employees that helped me out. Okay? So you got to keep them in line. They set up the PS5, and specifically they set up the PS5 and the PS VR. So now we should be able to do Hitman VR this week with Linkus. Locked in. Bam. Wham, blam. Thank you, ma'am. Easy clap. So it should be sick. Alan Ball, thank you for the gifties. Sorry, I missed it. I appreciate that. Did you have a message that you specifically wanted? Your message was, how was your poop? You said, how was your poop? Got ignored and then gave 5 subs so I would answer that fucking question. I wish I could give them back. I wish I could give them back. What a fucking waste of money. You don't like March Madness? Not particularly. I think, call me crazy, okay? You can call me insane, call me the Joker for this. I think a best of one makes no sense. So what they should do instead is have these college kids play a best of 100 every round. It should be a best of 100, and that way, if you win 51-49, you are truly the better team, and you move on to the next round. And honestly, it should last the whole year. They should play a game every single day, minimum. Actually, it have to be multiple games a day, really, if we're going to get through all of it. They should play at least. They should be playing from dawn till dusk. And it's only 3 rounds a year if you're doing it daily. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad. Well, no, you have to do more than one a day. Hey, Atrioc. I sat next to a Korean girl and a Chinese girl on a recent flight and talked about world Asian politics thanks to what I learned here. Might be negative Riz, but it was fun and none of us used our phones for the whole 3-hour flight despite being Gen Z. That sounds great. That's awesome. That's great. I think that's much better than you trying to Riz the 2 women sitting next to you. I think that's good. You had a conversation. I just hopefully learned something. That's cool. Economic aura. Hey, Big A, long-time lurker here. I think you're pretty funny. You should try playing games as well. I think you're funny content with leading back. Baba Yaga. Just you wait till Silk Song comes out. Just you wait till Silk Song comes out. We'll be gaming like crazy. Dude, imagine. You're just saying copium. It will come out. It's coming out this year. No, I'm now all in. I've decided that being I don't know, jaded does not suit me. I'm all in. It's coming out. I'm stoked. I'm not hedging my bets here. It's coming out. I'm excited. I've opened myself up to the world. I'm letting them hurt me if they want to. Okay? I'm excited. It's coming out this year. It's going to be put money on it. Is there a fucking poly market? I will. Poly market, Silk Song. Where is it? I don't think they have one, unfortunately. What about Kalshi? Silk Song. No, they don't. Why not? This should be a good bet. This should be a good bet, dude. I'd put some real fucking squeeze on it. I believe. Okay? I'm excited. Hey, Dufero. Thank you for that. Hey, Big A, why do you insist on denim? I don't think it's the vibe with everything going on. What the fuck does that mean? What do you mean denim isn't the vibe with everything going on? Literally, what does that mean? First of all, what do you think denim is saying? And then how is it at odds with the current economic or political climate? What does that mean? Read the room. I can't read the room. I don't know what the words are. What am I not reading? Denim is so 2015 coded. Denim pre-Wednesday's insane. Look, this is worse than the tan suit, I see. Our president wearing a tan suit is almost as bad as a streamer wearing a denim shirt. Atrioc, how can you claim to be a basketball fan and not be watching the NCAA championship right now? It's very simple. I don't give a fuck about college ball. That's why. I don't watch fucking middle schoolers play either. Because I don't give a fuck. All right? I want to watch the best players in the world. I don't care. I don't watch your local pickup games. Okay? I want to watch the best players in the world. That's why I watch the Olympics for I don't know, rock climbing or something, and I don't watch random people do it. And I certainly don't want to watch a fucking tournament of best of ones. College kids playing best of ones. You might as well flip coins. What? Is this why you watch Squeaks? Yeah. You think I'm going to watch the random speedrunner? No, I'm going to watch the speedrunner of the year. Okay? I watch award winners. I watch champions. Okay? I'm not going to watch fucking the college version of Squeaks, who would be 40 to 50 years younger. I watch the elder statesman. Hey, Big A, got a question. I've been wanting a dog for a long ass time, but when I'm just about to pluck the courage and pull the trigger, Liberation Day happened. Should I be worried about the cost of dogs getting prohibitive? Please do not let Donald Trump's Liberation Day stop you from adopting a dog. That's not, no. Dogs can be expensive if you really want to go out, but they can also not be expensive. You can absolutely take care of a dog for an affordable, reasonable price. And I think a dog's value to your life, assuming you're a dog person, is far more than the cost. Everybody who owns a dog they love is getting one of the greatest deals of all time. They pay for, basic veterinary care and food, and they're getting like the greatest joy bringer that exists in the free market. Okay, it's a massive plus. Plus, for some people, it gets you outside, so you walk them a little bit. If you like dogs, I would say that you should not be. I mean, unless you are, I can't even imagine a situation that you would be in this chat and not be able to reasonably take care of a dog. Thoughts on the Supreme Court decision to allow Trump to continue with I don't know, Bait Man. I don't know. I assume bad would be my guess. I believe you also think that. Do you want me to confirm it for you? I assume bad. Hey, Atrioc, on your new Big A video, I'd like to say some stuff about it now. What my school does. Sorry, this is about the. What is this about? This is about the phones banned in schools, or trying to ban them in schools. What my school does is have us use our phone for learning, using websites like IXL to learn. So parents aren't mad their kid doesn't have their phones and the kids are still learning. That seems terrible. I'm sorry. Carson, low key, maybe it works for you. That sounds terrible. That sounds, if you're a kid, right, you're on your phone and you're trying to run the IXL website or app and you're like one click away from everything fucking distracting. That sounds terrible. That sounds like you're learning jack shit. You're probably cheating nonstop. My math teacher lets us cheat on IXL tests so we get above grade level so he gets his bonus. That's fucking good. Woo! W system, baby. Now you know it's working. Now let's just apply that to everybody. Let's get that out en masse. Fucking W. That's how we'll fucking out innovate. Every teacher's pay should be based on the grades their class gets, and it should be no oversight. However you get them, and you're getting paid. Okay? There should be an incentive to, if you have a failing student, you need to find a way to either kill them or get them out of your class somehow, because then it brings down your pay. And then everyone else, you have incentive to cheat. This is a good. Why are you question marking? I believe this. Don't fucking question mark me when I'm putting a real fucking thought out there, okay? I want a good clip so we can get this on there. Yeah, I don't think you're going far enough. You're right. I should go farther. Hey, dog, I need some advice. My job is full-time travel. I want a normal schedule. Should I talk to my boss or will I just get fired? Bro, this is the epitome of a question I can't help you with. Dude, I don't know your fucking boss. I don't even know your job. You just said full-time travel. What's the job? You've given me nothing and expect everything. What the fuck are you talking about? Dude, I don't know. If you're a pilot and you're like, hey, I don't want to travel anymore, then yeah, you probably will get fired. You're going to know the answer better than me, Cryptic Sleek. I'm not going to be able to tell you this. I will tell you, I can spin off this question, and I can tell you that for a while, my job at Twitch was near full-time travel. As in, I would have to travel at least every weekend. So I would work all week, then travel on the weekend to an esports event somewhere in this country or another country, and have to do coverage or social media for it. And then I would come back home and have to work all week. And I was young, so I liked it because I was like cool to travel, but it burnt me out real quick. And you always end up with huge piles of laundry at home, and you never have any downtime outside of work and travel. And it kind of sucked. I don't think it's for me. Some people love it. The thing is, I had people that had the same job or something like it who fucking loved it. They love traveling. They love going to events. They love the after party. They love all that shit. I didn't like it. I thought I'd like it. I actually hated it. So it's just different. It's what you want. It sounds like you don't like it. So I would try to get out of that job. How are the accommodations though? I mean, Twitch paid for the hotel. Usually you'd split. You pay for half of a hotel room. So it'd be you and another employee in a 2-bed hotel room. And it'd be like basic, nothing, not terrible, not like a motel, but not like fancy. Flirt? It would, sure. I mean, flirt. Yeah, if you want to strike up an office romance with the fucking engineer who's there with you, the company's like fucking, yeah, they make bank. Okay, now I'm gold digging. Now I'm gold digging on an office trip with the. No, I didn't do any of that. But there's parts of it that were fun, right? And the thing is, like, I think I had the best version of that kind of job because Twitch would always send you to an event. Like, let's say I get sent to, what's an example? PAX. You go to PAX Prime. You're up in Seattle, okay? Or you go to Gamescom in Germany. Or you go to, what's the one in Japan? Or E3 or whatever. So you go to one of these, it's like, I'm a gamer, but most of the time you have to work. So what I really do is I fly out there, I go to the Twitch booth. I usually have to do something menial because everyone had to contribute. And then I have to go to the hotel room and do social media posts. So mostly what it was me most of the day sitting in my hotel room, hunched over a laptop, doing the same work I'd be doing back at my desk at work, but like on a worse chair, worse internet, worse. And it wasn't that fun. It was kind of shitty. Anyway, and then, but the thing that made it worthwhile or whatever was that Twitch usually have a party. So it'd be the Twitch party at PAX or the Twitch party at Evo or the Twitch party at E3, whatever. And then you drink a lot on a Sunday and then you have to go to work on Monday. And it just turns out like that is not a fun way to live for too long. You do it for a while and it's like, oh, it kind of sucks. You just feel kind of shitty. Do they pay you more to work on weekends? They did in my first year there because I was still hourly. My first year at Twitch, I was hourly. I had to send a timesheet in at the end of every month. And I would include those hours. And then they gave me a very small raise, but it was now you're salaried. And then once I was salaried, all the travel, I didn't get paid for it. So I probably dropped pay significantly. I am not your salary, Kendrick. Did he even say that? In what context did Kendrick Lamar say that? Or is this a different Kendrick? Is your friend Kendrick? Hey, Big A, what was your day when you realized you saw Dan Clancy for who he truly is? Dan Clancy came to town in a big, shiny truck. And everyone was so impressed. He had a press suit, fancy hat, and he spoke fancy words. And all the people in my simple town, well, we fell for his lies. Okay? And over time, we noticed that our pie kept getting smaller and his pie kept somehow growing. And that's when I realized that all this fancy talk and fancy words of Dirty Dan was at the expense of me and mine, of my friends, my family, and my folk. But by that time, it was too late. I got run out of town. Though it wasn't a town at that point. It is now a city, 10 million strong. And that's the story of Clancyville. Did you defeat him with the power of dance? Did you see the guys? Did you guys see the? I hope you guys have been practicing. Okay? Because here's 4 TikTok dances you can do to help fight tariffs. Have you been practicing? I feel like nobody's doing this. The tariffs are still here. Here's 4 TikTok dances you can do to help fight tariffs. I just want to make sure maybe we can understand some of these. Oh, wait. It's like a Instagram thing. Doesn't load. I honestly think that if you can get the entire country 300 plus mil to dance, the tariffs will be trivial at that point. You have like a Footloose type situation. You think the magic of dance is more important than the law. And if we can get, you might be right. I think if we could bring a little whimsy back to the world, then no tariff could stop us. $350 million flash mob at Mar-a-Lago. Hey, Big Ed, can I cash in my first time chatter topic? I didn't get it when I first joined the stream. Oh, he says you have 220 messages. No, you have to be here for that. Otherwise, everybody who's ever been here could just cash it in. And also, I could never check. No, that's just not how it works. You can't. That's not. No, there's no cash ins. You don't get it. You don't get it late. It's not like everybody gets one. First of all, it's a new. Can I withdraw? No, you can't withdraw. You can't trade it. Someone's gonna come in here and say I've bought the first round draft picks of 100 chatters, and now I get 100 topics. It's not. There's not a market for it. You can't buy or sell it. You can't. No. No, I'm protectionist. You can't do it. Pepe scream, there's a run on the bank. Get yours. Holy shit, there's a bank run. Hey, thank you, Dufero. Thank you for the prime. Yep, Caleb. Thank you for the 24 months. 47 months. I'm sorry. Wait, what? 47 months. But, oh, wow. Jesus Christ. Is that one of my longest ever? What? I don't think I've ever seen a 50 bomb. Thank you, Yeb Caleb, for the 47 months. Who's got a 50 bomb? What is the... Oh, 60. R-Dubs has 60. Well, I still haven't seen a 50. I've seen a 60. Hey, thank you for the 57, Neptune. See, all you got to do is bring it up, and then all the 50 bombs come out. They were just about to quit, and I kept them in for one more month. You see, that's called the fucking long game. That's the fucking long game, dude. They were at 56. Oh, I'm done with this. And then now he's got to do 57 to prove it to me. This is art of the deal, all right? I'm thinking in chess, not checkers. No, thank you for the 57. Sploinky, thank you for the prime. Rafs, thank you for the 7 months. Whoa, Big Yawn, thank you for the 2 months. Coon the Goon, thank you for the 13 months. Mantra, thank you for the prime. Zach Conway with the 29. Malogs, thank you for the 28. Ishraq, I work at an agency affected by the IPG Omnicom merger. What are the odds you think I will lose my job? Again, not a question I could reliably answer. When there's a merger, though, generally the first to go in a layoff are if you are in the smaller company and you work in a universal business feature. So let's say you're part of HR. They already have an HR department at the bigger company, so you're fucked. They're not gonna want you. If you work in like IT, they're not gonna want you. If your job is something that's like part of the functioning of the business, and you're in the smaller one, usually you get cut. That's how it goes. That's how it works. Because the whole point of the merger is to increase efficiency by using one IT team or one HR team or one whatever. Now, usually ends in bad results, but I'm a project manager. You could be fine. I mean, it depends on what they acquired you for. Again, I'm not sure, but if you're part of the business that makes something or makes money, you're least likely to get cut in a merger. But the things that keep the business running usually get cut. I didn't read today's news. How bad are things? I'm going to cover the big news of today. I don't have like it's still a fairly substantial presentation here I'm going to do. But it's just about today. It's about all the stuff that happened today, all the news today. I think it's like 50, 60 slides, something like that. You know, it's pretty good for I made it on the news today, but there's not like a one-shot thing. What do I call it? No, it's not. I don't know what to call it, but like I don't know. When I do like a 200 fucking bomb on a big topic. Do you just watch the news with the deck open? Yeah. And I read the news with the deck open, and then I put it in as a note, or I write a little note, and then I go back later and make it into a slide. Yeah, that's exactly how I do it. Why is that crazy? How is that psychotic? I think I described the most basic way I could make it, and you're like, fucking psycho? Fucking freak? What the fuck? Little fucking it's got a Joker? He reads the news then makes a slide about it to talk about it with his chat? Big news today. I beat Pantheon. Congratulations, Sep Suep. It's a good day. Congratulations. Let me turn the air on real quick. It's fucking hot in this room, especially in my nice denim shirt. Damn, bro, it's 75 fucking degrees. Denim shirt, shorts, no socks. What a man. It's hot in here. It's fucking hot in here. I'm going to wear what I have to wear. Okay. And I appreciate you recognizing that I'm not fucking, who's Edward Murrow or something. I'm not wearing a suit. I'm not gonna show up here and fucking. Honestly, it feels like summer right now in LA. Fuck this temp change. Fuck this chump change. That's what I'm saying. Why is it cold in Texas? I don't know. We stole the heat in California. It has been hot, but it has been cool for me to show Quack from Canada, yuck, around LA. He came at the perfect time. Quack left Canada and it was cold as shit. He showed up here and it's like 75 and sunny every day. Perfect day. And we were playing basketball and walking around and I think I have, he's not going to move here, but at least I have shown him a good time. Can he dunk? No. Actually, I have something embarrassing to say. Well, that's not embarrassing, but it is good for Quack. He has not played basketball really, but he was pretty good. He wasn't good. What he was he has played so much soccer that he was actually pretty good. Like he was kind of a natural. Like he was contributing right away in our games. For a Canadian soccer guy, he did pretty good. He ran a lot. Yeah, you just had cardio. He had cardio and he kept his eyes up. He like watched the floor. He was pretty good. I'll just say he was pretty good. I'll give him credit. One thing is he kept kicking the basketball though and saying goal, which was annoying. He would kick the basketball as far as he could and then run around in a circle saying goal, and it was kind of an L. Dude. Listen, I appreciate when you come in and say you're a big YouTube frog and love the content. I do appreciate that. I'm getting a lot of questions for advice today, and it's always like, there's no way I can help you. This is something you got to ask your fucking family, or you got to ask someone close to you. I don't know your life. I don't know anything about you. I don't know what you like. I don't know what you dislike. I don't know where you live. You could be in a university in Bangladesh. You could be in the Northeast. I cannot fix your problems, bro. And I appreciate you showing up, and I appreciate if you enjoy some of the way I break down the news or whatever. But I don't want to tell you. It's like you're like, I have this big crossroads in my life. Can you make the choice for me so that if it doesn't work, I can come back and blame you? It's like, fucking bro, no, I won't do that. I won't do that. That's not what I'm going to do. I think you just have a lot of anxiety about this choice and you'd like to offload it to someone else. If you truly can't decide, flip a coin. Then it's up to God's hands. That is unless, of course, you gift 50 subs. Yeah, if you get 50 subs, I'll give you the real. I have the answer. I just want to be clear. I know the answer to your question, and I could absolutely figure your life out and get you in a perfect spot, and you'll be healthy and happy and wealthy and wise. I can't do it unless you pay for the ultimate tier of. To be clear, I am joking. Don't do it. I'm joking. Don't do it. I need to be very clear. Because sometimes people are like, "What, sarcasm?" Hey, Big A. Hi, YouTube Frog. If you were the president and everybody hated your tariff, even though you worked really hard on them, what would you do? Donnie T, good to see you again in chat. I would call them a bunch of fucking panicans, and I would go golf. My goat, don't let them fucking bring you down. Hey, Big A, I've been reading as Gods Among Men. I actually really love it. I actually like how he gives a million examples for every point because the history is super fun to learn about. Thanks for recommending it. All right, nerd. All right, nerd. You're the one that likes the million examples. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's probably easy to read from inside the locker. It's probably easy when you're locked in there to fucking get every fucking example read. But low key, I'm glad you like it because it's a great book. It's just a little boring. Brandon, if you were a Twitch streamer and people kept asking you difficult hypotheticals, how would you handle it? Do you think your job would be safe? Dude, speaking of jobs being safe for streamers, I've realized, I don't know much about this creator. I have to say up front. And I know that Squeak got some flack for talking shit. So I'm not talking shit here. I don't know anything about Vidal or Neurosama. Okay? Don't know anything about it. But I know that it's at least a partially AI creator. And my understanding is that at least some points of the stream, Vidal, I'm sorry, I'm getting it right. Some points of the stream, there's no human. It's just the AI responding to chat questions, is my understanding. Okay? Am I correct or not? At some points, it's just the AI responding to chat questions. Okay? And it was making me think. I was talking with, maybe with Doug or with Aiden. I don't remember who. Someone. We were talking about it, and I was like, it's kind of funny that, like, some parts of my stream, I'm just pulling up chat questions and responding to them. But like an AI doing that could be programmed to give at least somewhat entertaining answers and do it forever. Like I get gas after 2 hours. I get gas after 2 hours. But if and for some people, it's not even the quality. I'm not saying I have a super quality response here either, but for some people, the quality of the response doesn't even matter. It's that there's like at least a few thousand people in chat and your message gets pulled up. For some people, they don't care even what I say. They just want their message to get pulled up in a chat that has a few thousand people in it. So it's like they feel something. And so if there's an AI that can just do that on loop forever and gets big enough to have an audience, that's an interesting spot. I think it's worth, it's definitely something that didn't exist before. This personal, again, I don't know this specific trend. That's just an example of someone who's finally gotten big enough. Where I think people are sitting in chat and they're like, they don't care that it's just an AI inputting their text and saying random funny response. It's like, anyway, this is interesting. Uppies, uppies, uppies. Right here. Facts. Monkey brain light up when you make my words go swoosh. Fuck, wrong one. I do think the fucking GOAT thing that Automated did for this system where I can pull a message up is he added the swoosh. The swoosh makes it from being a normal feature to the GOAT feature. The swoosh sells it. It's so fucking good. It's so powerful. It's like Nike, dude. What would Nike without the swoosh? Did you pay him for it? No, I invoiced him for it. I made him pay me for the privilege. I'm shouting him out right now. I'm helping him out. It's okay. Kind of mid would be better if it was a fart instead. You don't think that would get a little annoying if every time I pulled someone's chat message up, it's made a big fart sound? You think that'd be a little like crass and tacky? And like all of my clips would just be filled with fart noises and it would feel like super lowbrow. What if it was a fart sound into a vine boom, into a second fart, into 21? What about that? Every time. And then a Roblox oof when it goes away. Would that be cinema? Is the SAT important in this day and age? If so, should I turn off stream and lock in? Bro, you asked this question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 times in a row. Fucking go lock in. You're not going to lock in no matter what, actually. You're cooked. You're cooked. Nothing I can tell you will change whether or not you're cooked. You're dropping 17x spams on whether you should pay attention to the SATs. You're cooked. Kindness first? All right, man. Maybe you're not cooked, but you should quit the stream and go fucking try. What if every question on the SAT this year is about how to properly spam to get noticed and whooshed on the screen? Then all of a sudden your practice paid off. All of a sudden you're fucking locked in. You get a perfect 2400. Did they get rid of the writing or what? Why does everyone say 1600 now? Did they get rid of the writing? Is it back to 1600? When did SAT get rid of writing? Damn, 2021. Yeah, they realized it was over. They realized it was fucking. No, we're not gonna make these kids write. Nobody wants to read that. It's basically, yeah, it's optional. I think it was optional until 2021. Then they got rid of it. That's so funny, dude. I can't even imagine because I know that math and writing or math and reading scores have both. I don't know about plummeted, but they're all down. I can only imagine writing would have fallen off a cliff after ChatGPT. Asking someone who went through COVID to write a full essay by hand has got to be fucking. That's got to be a fucking disaster. That's got to be cooked. You should do a second playthrough of Hollow Knight to warm for Silksong. I've never done something like that in my life, and I never fucking will. But the week Silksong's about to come out, once it's confirmed date, I'm going to beat Absolute Radiance on Radiant every day until the day of release, so I'm fucking warmed up, ready to go. And so it's more embarrassing when I die to the first boss. What if the game is bad? I am making 2 bets about Silksong. Number 1, it comes out this year. Number 2, it's good. I feel confident in both of these bets. Some of you are taking the under, but I believe. I fucking believe. Copium. Bro, everyone in chat spammed Copium when in January I said they will guarantee to have news about Silksong this year. And then they said, Copium, no fucking chance, nothing all year. And then I showed the clip, and they did have that. And now you're spamming Copium again when I tell you it's going to come out this year, and it's going to be good. Okay? It's too rushed. Let it breathe some more. God, they're fucking pedal to the metal rushing it out. Just please, come on. This is crazy. You see LeBron's post saying he's retiring? Pretty dangerous for a sub to tell me. I know this is not true. I just feel like you're meant to be new enough here. You're only a 1-month sub. You understand that I will fucking ban you for this. Trying to trick me into fake news is a fucking ban, bro. The idea, the audacity of thinking I don't know my GOAT Bron's latest updates. There's no fucking way he retires this year. He's going to win a fucking ring with Luka next year. The real question is, what is Braun going to do when Luka retires in 20 years? What is Braun going to do when the team starts retiring? Like, he has to be able to plan around that. Play with his grandson? First got to play with his grandson in the NBA? That'd be fire. Jessica Wanders, thank you for the prime. All right, let me get a little like 15-minute timer up because I need to stay on schedule here. Talk about today's news. Lots of news today. Lots of news today. It's not an really. Let's just say like news update starts in. And we'll make the timer shorter. Let's make it like 15. There we go. Hey, Atrioc, your Twitch account's the only one I've seen these days that's older than mine. What a crazy roundabout way of calling me Unk. Just want to say I'm here with you as an aged fine wine. You know, I worked at Twitch before they got bought by Amazon, so that's why I have an old account. Not because I'm particularly old, just because I worked at Twitch in the early days when it was still possibly going to be called Zarth. Hey, Atrioc, how do you say positive while saying informed? I'm not going to give you a bullshit answer, bro. Get a bunch of NVIDIA stocks, sell it in 2024, put it into bonds and gold. Then you don't feel so bad when the market crashes, right? You feel fucking good. That's a W method. Another part of it is that I think one of the big differences that I've seen with people who might share some of my conclusions or points, but are more doomer, is that they believe people's minds can never change. That's one of the big differences I see. They think of the worst, most obstinate person they can think of and extrapolate that to everybody, and they think nobody will ever change. And I have the complete opposite opinion. So it makes it a lot easier for me to be hopeful. Oh, wait, let's talk about the dire wolves. We have a little bit of time. Did you guys see these fucking dire wolves? Dire wolves. They resurrected the dire wolf. Is there a good video on this? It's kind of hype. Can I see this?
The howl of a dire wolf hasn't been heard on planet Earth for more than 10,000 years. That's because the species is extinct, or was. Colossal Biosciences is a Dallas-based company that's using genetic engineering to de-extinct long-gone species.
They're cute!
And this is the first time Colossal's dire wolf pups, who are now 6 months old, have been seen by the public.
If they actually can do what they say they can do, it's a smart idea to start with a cute doggo type creature before pivoting into fucking velociraptors and giving us Jurassic Park. You know what I'm saying? It's smart position, smart marketing.
Hey Ben, it's Jeff Kluger from Time Magazine.
Jeff Kluger.
A pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Tell me
a man after my own hairline.
About what the goal is for de-extincting and rewilding ultimately. Why are you doing this work?
It became abundantly clear that we need
Don't
new
plus
tools
do that.
and
It was
technologies for
self-deprecating.
conservation. And so we thought this was a really cool way that we could create value,
Cute!
Inspire people, and then also hopefully thoughtfully rewild some of these species, which apparently will also have ecological benefits to these different potential ecosystems.
There's an ecological benefit to releasing dire wolves. What are we talking about? Less White Walkers? What? This is fucking goofy.
To try and do that, Colossal needed to understand dire wolves at a genetic level. The company has documented the process from the beginning and shared this footage with Time for a cover story.
Remus.
So can you tell me a little bit about what went into engineering the dire wolf?
We extracted DNA from 2 fossils that we knew from previous work had some amount of preserved ancient DNA. One was a 13,000-year-old bone, and the other was a 72,000-year-old bone,
Okay.
an inner ear bone. We were able to generate 2 genomes, 2 direwolf genome sequences from that, which we then compared to
It
all
is
the other
Jurassic Park-esque.
wolves for which there's already been data generated. And when we do that, we want to figure out where it is that these 2 dire wolves are similar to each other, but different from the other wolves that are out there. And so we come up with this list of genes where they're distinct.
Okay.
Now, our goal in the dire wolf project, just like with all de-extinction projects, is to re-engineer the core traits, the core characteristics that made these extinct species unique and able to fill whatever role that they filled in their ecosystem.
Hey, this is great. If this works, that means we don't have to worry about making all these animals extinct. We can always bring them back. You know, so we can just chop down trees, scorch the forest. Like, who cares? You can always bring them back. Just someone make sure to keep a copy, you know? You can dump plastic straws. They should bring back the dodo bird. Wait, that'd actually be fire. Gotta save scumming nature. Dude, when are they gonna invent a Pokeball that I can throw at like a neighbor's dog and capture it? When are they gonna do that? Like if my dog mogs their dog, I should be able to fucking toss a Pokeball at it. Next year, Elon. Fuck, I want to eat a dodo so bad. They were so tasty, we ate them all. Is that even true? How did dodo birds go extinct? Dodo bird extinction. Oh yeah, we just hunted them, huh? But it turns out there was also invasive species like rats, pigs, dogs, and cats, which ate dodo eggs and chicks and then ate all their food. Portuguese sailors describe eating dodo bird. I want to see what it tastes like. What did dodo? Okay, wait. Okay, according to Ask Historians, there's not a lot of records of them tasting that great. It was more like sailors were just fucking hungry. I don't know. Could be all right. Oh, apparently it's kind of greasy. It's kind of greasy. All right. We learn something every day. Yeah, but with modern cooking techniques, we love that. We need Gordon Ramsay to spice it up. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You see Gordon Ramsay's fucking T, what was that one he totally botched? There's one, it was like grilled cheese. It was a grilled cheese, right? Dude, he made the nastiest. It was like a $400 of materials grilled cheese. Looked like shit. He put kimchi on it, I think. Wait, can I just get a picture of that thing? Was this it? Yeah. Yeah, the Gordon Ramsay grilled cheese. The cheese barely melted, kimchi in the middle, thick ass burnt bread. Fucking bad, dude. The cheese like barely fucking melted. It's a kimchi cheese sandwich. I bet it still slaps. Y'all just haters for real. Maybe I'm a hater. Maybe I'm just a traditionalist for grilled cheese. I love grilled cheese. Look at what I'm wearing. I'm a white guy in a denim shirt. You think I don't eat grilled cheese? I think I know my way around a grilled cheese, actually, to be honest. I think you should give me fucking credit that I know what I'm talking about. And I think I could fucking... But what I'll tell you is that I think grilled cheese without tomato soup is not a grilled cheese at all. I think grilled cheese needs to be dipped into something because the grilled cheese is crunchy and good. Delicious. Very American take. You know what else is a very American take? That we should storm the beaches of Normandy and stop Hitler. I guess that's too American for you, huh? I guess these American takes can't count. But, you know, for me, I personally support. He won me back. Took a few years to join the war, though. We took our time. We took our time. I'll be honest with you. It worked out economically in the 50s. We took our time. Why didn't you join as fast as Canada? So true. America really the guy that late TP'd to the team fight and then cleaned up? League of Legends metaphors for World War II are always going to hit. Those are always going to hit. Scoreboard. Fucking. Dude, literally, I mean, if you look at how World War II actually played out, all of the West kind of kill-stealed Russia. If you look at how World War II kind of played out, we kind of KS'd. Although, Hitler kind of KS'd himself, to be honest. Nobody got the fucking scoreboard. He FF'd. He rage quit. Hitler denied the 300 gold. We got it. Hey, Atrioc, this is on topic. I like to submit Pretty Little Liars to the stream show of choice after house because it's awesome. Pretty Little Liars is way, 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 way too close to recent to watch on stream. If it's not a show that's full episodes are on TikTok, you can't do it. Secondly, I've already seen Pretty Little Liars. It was good. It was fun. And then thirdly, and most importantly, we haven't even finished House yet. Let's not figure out our next thing till we watch House. We might watch an episode tonight. I don't have a massive presentation today. I'm gonna talk about some things that happened today in the markets, and then we can watch House. I'm fine with that. That could be fun. Give myself another couple minutes here. Atrioc, have you watched The Prophet? No, I haven't watched that. Can we watch One Piece? What if we open every stream by watching the full entire run of One Piece? Would that be a good way to... So we watch, what, like 800 episodes in a row? And then we do it again every stream, basically, to unlock things we missed. 1,100? 1,100. Okay, we'll watch 1,100 episodes. What is the highest rated episode of One Piece? What is the highest rated episode of One Piece? What if I don't know anything about One Piece? Not one thing about it, except for that my goat Luffy. My goat Luffy gets it done. Okay? No, it's not Luffy. It's Luffy. Okay, I think I would know. You probably don't speak Japanese like I do. What if I watched just the highest rated episode and tried to figure out what the whole show is about? It looks like the highest rated episode was from 1999. No, it's from 2008. And it's Nakama no Itami wa Waga Itami. Zorokeshi no Tatakai. Is the highest rated episode of One Piece. Okay? What a powerful... What a powerful episode. And I'll watch that, and then I'll just know everything there is to know. I'll just fucking... Really rolls off the tongue. Yeah, I'm sort of fluent. Chat's all spamming 10:15. They're probably critics. You want me to watch an episode that's 10 seasons in? 10:15, One Piece. One Piece season 10, episode 15. Awakening after 500 years, Oars opens his eyes. This is the best episode? Oh, it's... No, I can tell you guys want this one. Season 10, episode 15. I can tell what you want. I've figured it out. Believe me, I can feel the vibe of the chat. All right? I think I would know what I'm a streamer, okay? I know how to fucking pick up the... And I've picked up the vibe, and that's what you want. All right, that's the one episode we'll watch. I'll accept no other changes. We're going to learn about Oars. And this is the greatest episode, you said, ever. Oars opens his eyes. Sick. We're going to learn fucking... That's going to be awesome. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. Atrioc, and start Marketing Monday quickly. All right. Well, Masinab, I hate to break it to you. You're banned. You're fucking banned. You see, that's why I have a timer, so that you can't rush me, okay? Year of kindness. No. What I said was try kindness first, as we figured out. It's actually not the year. It's the year of trying kindness first. And I led with kindness, and he led with rushing me. I receive my income every Monday, which is kind of great because even if I spend all my money and go broke on Sunday, I get new money on Monday. Kind of like an infinite money glitch, right? Yeah. Fire. Yeah, I don't see a flaw. Loki, I don't see a flaw. Did you just fucking figure that shit out? That's awesome. You can't go broke. Wait, I got my nose real quick. Oh, somebody asked a question. Wait, I asked me what to say. So I don't know how many of you are listeners of the podcast Lemonade Stand, but I assume not all of you, because I know it's not all of you because the Big A channel and the main channel are bigger than Lemonade Stand. So on Lemonade Stand, I did like a 50-slide presentation about the current state of Hollywood this year, and comparison to the surging Chinese movie market. And if you didn't see it, well, then it's lost to the ages. But I was thinking maybe I will update it, polish it up a bit, and do a main channel video. Because I think it got, not wasted, but it only got seen by a few people, not a few people, but less than it could have. So I think I will do that, and maybe even tomorrow. So there may actually be a Marketing Monday presentation this week. Because I think that deserves to be seen, especially if you haven't seen it on the podcast. Now let me blow my nose real quick. Okay. Wow, what good timing. Do you know what's funny? This is just going to be an odd thing to say. But every time I go on a break and chat spams Yep Coke, he's off doing Coke, the viewership goes up. It almost always goes down when I'm talking, but it goes up when everyone's just spamming Yep Coke. Isn't that weird? It's not. You'd think it would decline. It's not. There's no content. I don't know. That's very odd to me. Here, give me just a tiny bit more time. Give me 4 minutes. That's it. I'm ready to go. But I have some Sour Patch Kids and I want to eat them. I have some Sour Patch Kids and I want to eat a couple of them. Okay? Do you mind? Is that a fucking problem? It's an ad. Damn, that's tasty. Dude, can I say this? All right? Is anyone here a real Sour Patch Kids fan? Is anyone here kind of a sour candy person that likes regular Sour Patch Kids somewhat regularly? Have you guys noticed they've been kind of innovating this past year? Have you guys noticed that after decades of stagnation, they've kind of been like bringing out the new shit? I'm kind of like, they must have a new team. They have the lemonade ones. They have the grape ones. They have the Oops All Fruits ones. They have like all these new flavors. They've been mixing and they've been in it. The peach ones were pretty good. I don't know who they hired, but I've seen more innovation out of Sour Patch Kids than most tech companies. Like they've legitimately tried to find new markets. It's fire, dude. And every time I go to 7-Eleven and I want to get a little treat, I'm just noticing that I have a wealth of options from the Sour Patch Company. And it makes me happy. Is it because chocolate's expensive? I don't think it's the same companies. I mean, it could be that chocolate has gotten more expensive and people are dipping their toes into the sour candy realm because it's more affordable. And then sour candy is innovating. I don't know. Could be something like that. But I just think they got a new team or an improved team. It's awesome. I'm a sour Skittles and trolley kind of person. All right. Don't make it your whole fucking personality. It's two fucking candies you buy from the gas station. It's not a BuzzFeed quiz, bro. Now that is a violation of the year of kindness because that was a super normal message. Caught! I violated the Geneva Convention. All right, caught. Have you tried Ompaville's candy? No, I don't know what that is. Ompaville? Let me make sure all my shit's ready. Who's on Oompaville? Is it a YouTuber? YouTuber's got his own candy? Oompaville candy. Sour Boys. No, I haven't tried this. I'll try it. Fuck it. I always like new candy. If a YouTuber's innovating candy, I'll check it out. Although I will say I tried, what did I try? Some other YouTuber made candy, and it wasn't good. Oh, I shouldn't say. I'm not trying to fucking start beef. There was a bunch of it at fucking, I shouldn't even say it. About the mogul office. I tried that shit. Yuck. Patooey. That didn't taste good. But Atrioc branded sour candy. Okay. What if, hear me out. What if, this is a pure marketing idea. What if you make a sour candy? You make a sour candy called clickbait. Okay? And it's all YouTuber sponsored. It's called clickbait, and it's like a blind bag. And it has a randomly varying level of sour. So a bunch of kids are going to buy it, and like they'll film themselves, and if you eat it, it's like it could be like it's a 1 out of 10 chance of being Omega Warhead sour. And then most of the time it's kind of tasty. It's loot box candy. Clickbait. And you get a bunch of YouTubers to sponsor it, and you can make a video of like trying 10, and then you get the one you go, ah! That's fucking bang. That's a brilliant idea. Fucking brilliant idea, dude. That's a fucking brilliant idea. Clickbait. I just made a fucking ton of money. Ideas getting stolen, bro. You realize that if that idea got stolen, this clip and me reacting to it will make me enough money that I don't care. I don't care. What do I care? Ain't that just Bean Boozled? I don't know what the fuck Bean Boozled is, but it doesn't sound as good as clickbait. Boomer? What's Boomer about that? Sorry that I enjoy something fucking tasty like this is not Boomer. I like mushy peas. Sorry, I enjoy mushy peas, and I like a frozen dinner, and I like I can't think of anything. What's an old food? Caramel toffee. Okay, I like a caramel toffee, dude. I like a Werther's. Is there something old about that? Eating a Werther's original? No. I'm young. I eat fucking Raisin Bran. Boiled Brussels sprouts. Werther's are sick? Dude, I disagree. Is there any Zoomer that likes Werther's original? Let me show you what I'm talking about, so in case you can't even picture it. I've never seen someone under fucking 75 eat these. This? You fuck with this? You're under 25 and you eat this. This just screams nursing home to me. I can't even... I mean, Boomer jokes aside, I don't think I've had one of these almost ever. Maybe once. And it was like so... It's like it sticks in your mouth. I think it's designed to fuck up your teeth, honestly. You don't have grandparents? Okay, first of all, if I didn't have grandparents, would that be an appropriate thing to say? Do you not have grandparents, you fucking loser? No, I do have grandparents, but they don't have Werther's Originals. Don't chew them, bro. It's hard candy. Well, first of all, my chompers, I'm chewing ice daily. So I'll definitely chew those, dude. And I don't want to. I don't want to eat food that I'm not allowed to chew. That seems fucked up. I like chomping. You don't chew soup, bro? You don't chew soup. I munch that shit. I'll munch that shit down. Quick, how do you eat a popsicle? You're trying to catch me in a fucking fact here. The truth is, you do chew a popsicle. Okay? You lick it until it starts to melt, and then you start biting pieces off to finish it. You do chew it. I'm not one layer every time until it's fucking gone. You chew it. You get 100%. Mr. Owl Ott. Dude, that's fun. Atrioc the type to count 1, 2, 3 before taking a big chomp. How one, a two. Damn, that's fire. Dude, at least 25% of the Zoomers in here are like, ha, 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 but they have no fucking idea. Oh, that's fucking good. We're all roasted. No fucking idea what he's talking about. Those ads lasted a long time. Believe me, I know. Believe me, I know. You know what I remember is in Germany, when you live on a U.S. military base, they get free American shows, but they're not allowed to show commercials on them. So you can watch older American shows, but they can't show commercials on them. That's the rule. No. But you're saying that's based. The problem is they still have commercial breaks and they still fill the time. It's not like it's no commercials. And this is before streaming. So it's like, so they fill the time with custom-made military ads targeted entirely to children or families of service members. So what you'd watch as a child, I'd watch like Seventh Heaven or fucking MASH, or it would always be an old show because it would never be an up-to-date show. They'd never give you the latest shows. They'd always give you one that was like 10, 20, 30 years out of date. So I'd watch these older shows, and then the commercial break would come, and it would be like the cheapest, most horribly shot ad of all time on a military base telling you some shit that you probably just needed to know to live. So it would be like, the one that stuck in my head is they had a bunch of military service members dressed in the worst fucking Western costumes of all time. It was like a cheap fucking Western saloon set, and everyone's like wearing cowboy hats and they're all sitting around playing cards. Okay, they're playing cards in a saloon, but the instead of holding money and chips, they're holding coupons. They're holding coupons for the on-base grocery. Okay, so they're all holding coupons. And then they're playing, they keep slamming down the coupons. And the villain of the show, he like puts down a coupon and someone else puts down a coupon. And then he goes, "Hey, wait a minute." And grabs his hand and holds his gun up. "Them there coupons is expired." And then a woman in like, the big frilly Western dress comes out from behind the bar and like puts the gun away, and she's like, actually, she looks directly in the camera. She goes, "Actually, for service members serving overseas, coupons have an extra 6 months past their expiration date to be." And then the villain guy looks all forlorn like he's an idiot. And then they sweep all the chips and the coupons into the other guy's hand. I'm not making this up. I'm sorry. This is 100% real. I saw it 1,000 times as a kid. I saw this 1,000 times as a kid. They played it this is the Department of Defense commercial break, Germany, 2001, 2002. If you can find it on YouTube, that'd be incredible. Librarian, if you can find it. Anyway, I saw that one. There's a couple other ones like that, but that one stuck in my head. My family still quotes it to this day. And And that's what inspired me to get into marketing. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of marketing, I think it's time for a little Marketing Monday. Do we do the intro? Again, this is not a real Marketing Monday. This is like a daily news update for today. Do we do the intro? Everyone's already spamming Poggy's me, so why not? Let's do the intro. Today's Marketing Monday. Spam me. Welcome to the Atrioc broadcast, April 7th, 2025, live on a Monday, a Marketing Monday, if you will. And I want to talk about all the things that happened in this crazy world today, because in the markets, we've had some wild news. Let's start with this, though. Are you guys familiar, perhaps if you're European, you're not, with the delicious and nutritious Costco hot dog? Are you familiar with the $1.50 Costco hot dog? One of the greatest value meals you can buy in this world. Brilliant and beautiful. The Costco hot dog is so iconic for its $1.50 price that has remained stable through years of inflation. It's considered a huge core marketing tenet of the Costco brand. Gets people in the door. It's a signifier of value. The Costco co-founder once famously said, "I will kill you," to the new CEO who wanted to hike the price. You can't hike the price. And then one day in 2022, remember 2020, flashback to 2022, it was the height of inflation. The 21 inflation had been raging. Food prices were rising rapidly. And a tweet came out of nowhere from an account who at the time was called Breaking News 911, but is now called John W. Rich Kid. But it was Breaking News 911, and they said, breaking, Costco announces plans to raise food court hot dog prices by $1 due to inflation. And the world panicked. The Costco hot dog was about to spike in price. The House GOP official account said Bidenflation comes for everything, and quote retweeted it. This gave it a boost, so it started to get picked up by news outlets. Verified accounts from all over started jumping in. Okay, no joke, I'm starting to panic. Costco raising hot dog prices. Costco announces plans to raise food court prices. This is one of those inflation headlines people will absolutely notice. Costco's cheap hot dog and soda has been a staple for years. Costco's 30-plus year run of a hot dog with a soft drink for $1.50 finally comes to an end. From Darren Ravel. Again, Red gets all over. In not even one day, I think 1 hour, the Costco stock price plummeted by, I think, roughly something like $30 billion. Everyone was like, this is the end of the company, right as the tweet appeared. And it became soon realized by those who fact-checked that this was not true. It had all been made up by one guy simply tweeting bullshit. But the real damage had been done, at least temporarily. $32 billion of market value had been lost because of one guy's meme. It was a signifier in 2022 of the era of fast-moving information and how misinformation could really move markets relatively quickly. They interviewed the guy, John W. Rich Kid. He said, yeah, I just randomly decided to post it. There was no rhyme or reason. And if anyone did even 2 seconds of research, they should know that. But kind of show what we already know. Nobody verifies anything and just reads headlines. Sad state of our society. That was probably one of the biggest market movements from a fake tweet we've ever had. Until today. Enter Walter Bloomberg. Walter Bloomberg does not work for Bloomberg. He's just a guy who made his name Walter Bloomberg. But he's verified because he paid the $8 a month. But it's worth noting he has no connection to the iconic business news website Bloomberg. He's just the guy. Now, he does tweet news regularly. In fact, I've figured out that his 849K followers comes from the fact that he basically goes to paywalled news websites, rips the headline, and then tweets it. So that you're getting access to the headlines without paying. That's That's his scheme. But to some people, he's become Bloomberg because he yoinks, no twist. Okay? Now, I, yesterday on Sunday, was out late at night at a Magic the Gathering event playing card game. Very fucking cool Chad behavior. And while I was playing, I heard someone across the table from me in a different game say, "Oh shit," looking at their phone. And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Bro, the Japanese market's just opened. They're in free fall. They just pulled the circuit breakers." Now, in Japan, it's kind of a cool thing they do. When the stocks are down, they make them green. So it kind of makes you feel better about a bad day. When they're up, they're red, and when they're down, they're green. It's just something they do. But a circuit breaker is when the stock market drops more than 8% in a short period of time. They basically stop all trading to let everyone catch their breath and figure out what the fuck's going on. So there's not a panic that goes deep selling. An 8% circuit breaker is a pretty big moment. And it was happening not only in Japan, but in Taiwan, in, I believe, Vietnam, in many Southeast Asian countries. Vietnam. Every country was basically waking up and seeing their markets crash. And I was thinking, oh shit, that's a pretty bad sign for tomorrow. That's a pretty bad sign for tomorrow when American markets open. Again, Japan, Taiwan, other countries, all circuit breakers. They were all cutting off trading because it was dropping so fast. And I think a large part of it obviously had to do with the tariffs. There was deep drops on Friday. The tariffs had not let up. And the markets were, again, digesting that the tariffs were going to be pretty bad for the global economy. Trump was still tweeting that he was solid on these tariffs. They're going to bring in tens of billions of dollars. Someday people will realize the tariffs for the United States of America are a very beautiful thing. He was rock solid on the tariffs. And so the markets were getting more and more panicked. And then enter our good friend Walter Bloomberg. The markets open blood red in America. Deep, deep dive. Similar to Japan, similar to Taiwan, multi-trillions down. And then Walter Bloomberg tweeted, Trump is considering a 90-day pause in tariffs for all countries except China. He tweeted it all caps with an alarm emoji. In other times, perhaps someone just ignores this. It's not real. But because it came from Walter Bloomberg with a lot of followers and a verified check, it started getting picked up. Until eventually, on NBC, they were saying they have unconfirmed but seemingly real reports that Trump was pausing the tariffs. And then the stocks went dramatically green. The stock market rallied like $2.5 trillion in 10 minutes. Again, the level of swings we're seeing have been never before seen like this in my entire life. The level of rising and falling we're seeing, never before in my entire life have I seen this level of swings. 6.6% up. Stock dramatically rises. Then, of course, less than 15 minutes after that, again, all of this took place between 10 and 11 a.m. this morning. Less than 15 minutes after that, the Trump internal team was saying, hey, no, we're not pausing. It's fake news. That's fake news. And once the market did that, it crashed $3 trillion. We had super deep, massive rise, then a crash again, then a small rise, and then just chopped around for the rest of the day. And in fact, shockingly, it ended up only barely down. I mean, it's still down, but it ended up kind of barely down. So basically, had this continued, we might have a much deeper, like Walter Bloomberg's tweet, despite being disproven, may have actually slowed the turn today. Like it stopped the panic selling. After hours, it's up, which is pretty fucking funny. The 15 minutes that rock stock markets. Now, again, it may seem like this is kind of a small thing, right? It's kind of a random thing, not worth bringing up, but it's actually pretty fascinating because we have rarely seen the ability for a unverified fake post to move trillions of dollars of value so quickly. We are in an era where I think what's more important than just the fake post is how quickly markets can move in general. People on Wall Street were noting, people have worked on Wall Street for decades, were noting that it felt swifter than anything they ever experienced, even during COVID and the financial crisis. The idea is that because we have algorithms now, because we have high frequency trading, because everybody's on edge, the ability for the market to change dramatically, instantly, is getting kind of spooky. It's like things can overnight crash or flash or go up. And what's interesting is that for a lot of people, especially like Wall Street bets people or even some of my chatters, the upside risk is just as scary. Because we had a lot of people, as I mentioned on Sunday or on Saturday. I got this crazy idea there's going to be a bounce on Monday, though. Just because so many people are buying puts, I think it's just going to bounce just to fuck them over. And that's exactly what it did. Everybody who jumped on the fucking buy puts train on Wall Street bets all got fucking cooked. They all got fucking cooked, dude. This guy's down 31% on his fucking $30,000 of puts he bought. Even though the market is like in a bad spot, even though the tariffs are not being digested well, every time you think you've got it figured out and you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're probably going to get cooked. You can't, short-term breaking the market's impossible. So, worth noting that there's been a disaster for put buyers, even if the long-term trend might be negative. Now, all this chaos, ups and downs, might cause you to panic. But our fearless leader has some words for you. The United States has a chance to do something we should have done decades ago. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid. Don't be a panicking. That's the new party based on weak and stupid people. Okay? Be an American. Don't be a panicking. Be strong, courageous, and patient, and greatness will be the result. Panicking Skywalker, very nice. Don't be a panicking. It's not just an American party that is that panicking. Panicking is a global party because it turns out everybody's panicking. The panicking party's winning in Germany and China and the UK and Canada, the United States, and Japan. Every stock market is down because of these rising trade tensions, although us and Japan are by far taking the biggest beating. But if you're willing to stay safe, you should not be a panicking, according to Donald Trump. This will all bounce back. Now, the biggest story there is not between these two countries, though. It's between these two. Again, the largest tariffs that the U.S. levied were on China, and that is, the geostrategic rival. That is where the biggest tensions are rising. And the rest of the world is kind of watching to see how this U.S.-China thing breaks down. And breakdown it has. Again, despite being have massive trade between each other, the cracks are beginning to show and in fact widen. The U.S.-China trade war is getting even uglier. So, as you guys know, Donald Trump on Liberation Day, the 5th, walked out with the poster, and at the top was China. Big tariffs on China. In response, as what happens in trade wars, China issued retaliatory tariffs of 34%, basically equal to what the U.S. put out 34%. China added new 34% tariffs. In response, Donald Trump is now threatening an additional 50% tariff if they do the retaliatory tariffs. So a counter to the counter. Now, at that point, once we add an extra, the tariffs are already really high. If we add an additional 50%, it's essentially impossible for any good to be traded between the China and the United States. If this trade war hits the point where these two countries are talking about, if Xi Jinping does a 34% and we add 50%, the entire trade history of the United States and China will be ended. It'll be a complete cutoff. And China, in response to this, said, we will fight to the end. So we're really getting the 1930s again, bro. We are getting trade wars into double downs into escalation. At no point is anyone trying to figure out some kind of reasonable solution. But what's funny is how it feels a little bit like the ideals of both sides have been somewhat flipped. In that this, pro-government intervention, pro-protectionism has become Donald Trump's calling card. Our fearless leader, Glorious LB. You have people saying, keep an eye out on American companies raising prices. Report them to the government if they do. It's like, bro, if they have this massive tariff on their inputs, they're going to have their, it's becoming this weird Maoist Republican search, anti-business. And on the flip side, we have one of the craziest things I've seen in my entire life. We have the Chinese government, official Chinese embassy of the United States, tweeting Ronald Reagan clips. This is today.
You see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity. Now, it hasn't always been easy. There are those in the Congress, just as there were back in the 30s, who want to go for the quick political advantage, who risk America's prosperity for the sake of a short-term appeal to some special interest group.
Why does this feel like AI? Because your brain is cooked. This is a fucking real clip. This is a famous Remington clip. Anyway, he did seem to describe exactly what's happening, which is crazy. It's funny to have Ronald Reagan be the voice of China's side of the argument 30 years later, 50 years later. It's crazy, dude. It's such a wild fucking world. It's such a wild world. I don't know what era we're in, but it provides us new insanity every single day. At the same time, again, so much news today. At the same time, there's been a bit of a tiny rift brewing between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. This iconic photo is great. Now, Elon had a bad day in Path of Exile, where I believe he died to a tutorial boss on stream, while still claiming to be one of the top 10 players in the world. But that's not what I'm bringing up. What I'm bringing up is the fact that in a time where everybody else seems to be getting in line behind Donald Trump about his tariff the entire world strategy, Elon Musk, who owns a business and at least recognizes that it will dramatically increase the cost of everything they produce, is kind of trying to pull him back. Kind of realizing that it's kind of disastrous, okay? And is openly getting on social media and on news articles and saying he hopes for a zero tariff situation, at least between the U.S. and the EU. as allies, having free trade between Europe and the United States. Now, he's not contradicting Trump directly because that's the leader, that's the man. But he has been pointing his criticism at this guy, Navarro, Peter Navarro, Trump's top trade advisor. Now, this guy's the most pro-tariff man in the fucking world. This guy is probably the architect of most of Trump's tariff plans. He's been pushing for it for a very long time, before even this administration. Now, what's interesting about Peter Navarro is he's written a lot of books where he cites a eminent economic author for some of his opinions on tariffs. And this guy's name is Ron Vara. Peter Navarro is always saying that he gets some of his great ideas in his, like, over half dozen books, has said Ron Vara is the source of some of his studies and the things he cites. Well, it turns out that Ron Vara...
In all of his books, Peter Navarro has cited an economics expert to justify his views. And the economics expert he cites is somebody named Ron Vera, V-A-R-A, Ron Vera. When Trump won the presidency and entered the White House, this Ron Vera started circulating a memo around Washington in support of Trump using tariffs in trade policy. According to the New York Times, the memo had been, quote, sent from an email address purportedly belonging to Ron Vera. At one point, Ron Vera wrote in the memo that Trump could, quote, ride the tariffs to victory. Problem is, Ron Vera doesn't exist. He never has. The economics expert that Peter Navarro has long cited to explain why he's so gung-ho on tariffs, this person, Ron Vera, is a made-up person. He is a fictional person. Peter Navarro invented
Ron Vera is a anagram of Navarro. he Voldemorted it, dude. He Tom Riddled that shit. And he left a chamber of secrets in all of his books. But what's funny is if you look back at some of these quotes, I mean, not only does he glaze Ron Vara, which turns out to just be him, but he also like uses it to add some distance to some of the more inflammatory things he would say. Like he would say that China is building us cribs to use as poison weapons on our babies and shit. But he would say that comes from a study by Ron Vara. And it's like, and then it's like, I'm not the one being crazy. I just saw this study. And that's wild. That's wild, dude. So that was, I mean, this has been known for a while, this Ron Vara thing. I don't think he's done it relatively recently, but this is the guy who's architecting the current tariff plan, who believes tariffs are the solution to all our problems. And he is in a major beef with Elon Musk. Now, I don't have the tweet. Oh, here, I do actually. Elon Musk said he ain't built shit 11 hours ago about Navarro. Navarro ain't built shit. In response to saying that, you know, anyway, there's a beef. What I'm saying is these two have beef that is heating up over the course of these tariff plans. And there seems to be a split again in the right-wing party between, this happened over H-1Bs, and this time it's over tariffs, between like the tech bro right and like the Washington right over whether to defer to Trump on these tariffs. But clearly there'll be more story here, but this is the beginning of a rift today that we saw. Usually everyone's in sort of lockstep, but Elon has broken from the lockstep to call these out. One more thing that was a big piece of news today that I want to talk about was about the military. Now, if you're an American patriot, put your hand up and salute our fucking troops, okay? Hoorah! Well, or salute our streamers. Equally important to the country. Salute our troops or our streamers. Both of them put their lives in the line every day to keep this country great, okay? Now, I mentioned in my predictions this year, when I was talking about Doge and the general idea of like getting our deficit in order, that there are 4 horsemen of the U.S. deficit. They are Social Security, Medicare, interest payments on our previous debt, and the military. These are the 4. If you are not willing to cut one of these 4, then you are not going to cut anything substantial. This is it. If you can't cut one of these four, you're not actually going to get our budget in line. There's no other way to do it. Now, it's worth mentioning that these two are politically impossible to cut because they amount to, this is like benefits for old people, and old people vote in record numbers, and they will never allow these to be cut. You just can't cut them. Okay. It's a landmine. You can't get rid of it. This one, you can't really cut without, defaulting on U.S. debt and entering a massive run on the treasury, okay? If you don't pay your interest payments, then no one will loan you money anymore, and it's a disaster. So you really only have one left of the four horsemen, and that's the military. If you're not going to find a way to take a serious look at the military budget, well, then you have no real credence to your claim of you're going to cut spending. And what was wild was, I mentioned this earlier in the year, one of the things that Trump has said that I've been most positively surprised about, especially this was like post-election pre-inauguration. This is like December, early January. In that era, I was I spoke about this, most positively surprised about was that he was at least flirting with the idea of cutting military spending. In a Super Bowl interview, Trump told Fox News that after Doge finished with the education department, the Defense Department would be next, and they would cut down on the $850 billion budget. This is an important number. At the time of Biden's last year, we had an $850 billion a year military budget, okay? And he was saying, that's extreme. We got to cut that down. We got to find a way to cut that down. He said Elon Musk would be a great master at this rare talent that could transform defense, okay? We can get more efficiency. We can stop overpaying for fucking nuts and bolts and projects to nowhere, and we can get an efficient fighting force. Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, came out with his American flag zipper coat and said, hey, I'm all fucking for it. Looking forward to working with you on this one, Elon Musk. We need to cut the fat and grow the muscle, okay? Cut the fat, trim the spending, and get more war fighters, more efficient actual fighting force. Today, there was an update to this.
We have great things happening with our military. We also essentially approved a budget, which is in the facility, you'll like to hear this, of $1 trillion, $1 trillion, and no.
Now, I'm no math expert, again, I'm a business guy, but if you recall, last year, it was $850 billion. Then we've decided to put our task to cutting it. And now this year, the budget is $1 trillion. So I'm just trying to.
Essentially approved a budget, which is in the facility, you'll like to hear this, of $1 trillion, $1 trillion, and nobody's seen anything like it. We have to build our military, and we're very cost conscious, but the military is something that we have to build, and we have to be strong because you got a lot of bad forces out there now. So we're going to be approving a budget, and I'm proud to say, actually, the biggest one we've ever done for the military.
They went from, fiscal responsibility, we have to get this in order, to now we're bragging about the biggest one ever. The biggest one ever. So it's rough for me to see this coming to any fruition. I'll just be honest with you. As I've said before, I maintain my pessimism that anybody who claims to be fiscally sound in this government at all seems to follow through on it. Now, what's interesting is part of the reason that we were supposed to be able to spend less on our military, part of Trump's plan that I did think had some soundness to it, was that we will cut spending and spend less because we are going to get Europe to spend more. Now, I disagree with that strategically because I think it gave us some soft power in Europe that helped our trade deals. But his idea was we cut ties, they spend more, we spend less. Okay, this is the plan. Trump wants NATO to spend more. They want Europeans to spend 5% of their GDP on militaries. Okay, we'll cut back. We're spending more anyway, but they're also going to spend more. So just more military worldwide. Here's the thing. In some ways, it worked. Because America has cut ourselves off from our European allies, they now feel like they have to spend defense spending. And so they are going to do this. Europe has now rolled out plans to spend a huge surge of money on defense spending. The only problem is they are wanting to buy their own defense gear. They want to make it in Europe and they want to use it in Europe. So they want to have their own defense companies. Now, America, which has demanded they spend more, is now saying, wait, not like that. The U.S. warns, this is today, U.S. warns EU, you can't exclude American companies from your defense initiative. You have to buy from us. So we're entering a really, again, weird spot where I think some of these ideas are, in a way, backfiring. We're just entering, we're not cutting our spending on the military. Europe's spending more, but we're not benefiting. And now what do they, what we lose the advantage that we got from our military in the first place. And then the last thing I'll say is I read this on the White House today. This is another piece of news that came out today. And I want to be clear here that I all of these stories I'm pointing out that I think they're just kind of loony. The theme I've been having with the news lately is like, I think it's a lack of coherence and competence. At some point, I want to argue these ideas on their merits. I want to try to say why I disagree with them fundamentally. But lately, I've just been like, hey, they're not working no matter what you do because they're so haphazard. They're so silly. They're so Looney Tunes. They're not. There's no strategy to it. There's a last one though I do want to talk about, which is this. This kind of caught me off guard in that the official White House website was talking about how the reserve function of the dollar is a bad thing. How it's it fucked up our trade deficits, how it's fucked up our currency distortions, and that the dollar being the global reserve currency is actually hurting us. Now, what I will say is some smart people have said something similar. It's hotly debated. And I think there's some interesting, how do I say this? Ideologically, there's an argument to be made that it has made it so easy for us to borrow that it's made us dependent on the credit card. You can make that argument. You can't really make the argument that it's, how do I say this? I would just say if the U.S. government in the middle of a massive increase in deficit is saying that the dollar being the reserve currency is a bad thing, doesn't really understand that the only reason they can afford the $1 trillion military and the no spending cuts is because of it being the reserve currency. You can't have both. If you really want to not be the reserve currency, you have to get your spending in line. That the real problem with this is not that maybe there's not an argument to be made here. The problem is you can't do both. If you're going to massively increase spending and try to get rid of us being the reserve currency, you're going to fuck this generation and all future generations of American people. You're setting us up for this deep, terrible, Greek-like debt trap. That's what I want to get across. Not that there's not some merit here, but that the two things being done don't work together. There's no jive there. The only reason America's been able to run these deficits for so long is because everybody needs dollars. Everybody needs dollars. So they have to tolerate us printing money like crazy and using it to buy their stuff. We get real goods, they get printed money. That only works because we're the reserve currency. If we're not, it's fucked. So, I sort of end with that. And did I have one more thing? It was, no, I mean, I have some hypocrisy here, but I think I'll leave it. Anyway, I just want to say, I hope we can square these circles here before we get to an even bigger problem. Right now, the market is still kind of chopping around, hoping that some deal gets made and something stops here. If this keeps going for much longer, the layoffs are going to spike dramatically, and we're in a whole new era where you can't turn back. And we're going to see what happens. Thank you for watching my little daily news update. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching Marketing Money. See you next week. Watch Lemonade Stand. Okay. Hope you enjoyed that. I did want to watch this little video here of where is it? This is not part of the thing, but CoffeeZilla tweeted this. I don't know who this guy fucking is, but it made me fucking laugh so hard.
Losing money costs you nothing. This is just the reality of life. You're gonna, like, were you young and dumb? How much money did you lose? Everyone loses money. Everyone loses money. It costs you nothing. In fact, it builds quite a bit of character. In fact, you learn a lot of lessons actually by losing money.
It's bloody Black Monday. Holy moly. The Kamala crash is here.
Kamala needs to get in front of a camera today. People are losing their homes today. People are losing their fortunes today. People are losing their futures today. People are losing their 401ks today. This is shaping up to be one of the worst market days in American history. Losing money costs you nothing. This is just the reality of life. You're gonna, like, were you young and dumb? How much money did you lose? Everyone.
That shit's fire. Anyway, I don't know who that guy is, but I saw the CoffeeZilla tweet it, and that made me fucking laugh. And then I found out that he used to be a BuzzFeed art writer, and he got fired for plagiarism. Anyway, I don't know who that guy is, but I saw the CoffeeZilla tweet it, and that made me fucking laugh. And then I found out that he used to be a BuzzFeed art writer, and he got fired for plagiarism. He got fired for plagiarism of BuzzFeed articles. Like, let's be honest, straight guys, we all like butt stuff. And Bill Clinton's white thighs will not make you miss the 90s at all. I mean, how could you plagiarize that? When I read that on BuzzFeed, I want it to be authentic journalism. So I don't know. That's wild, though. And now he's a podcaster. I guess giving political takes. Cool. Based. So we're watching One Piece, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know exactly when. Dude, also, okay, one more thing. Obviously, I think we're nearing an official, what you'd call correction in the market. Have we hit 20%? S&P. Yeah, not down 20 yet. I think it's down 13, something like that. 15. So we're not necessarily down a correction. But it's funny that people on social media who are like, no, there's nothing going wrong, keep posting like really zoomed out charts. Yeah, Nasdaq's in a correction, but not S&P. And so they post these zoomed out charts where they're like, just zoom the fuck out, okay? It's like a 70-year chart. We're all good. Like, what are you fucking worried about? It's zoomed out. And it also is a log scale. And it's like, I think a really disingenuous way to frame it, especially when like the real world impact is someone who's like, again, I've talked about this before, but a lot of older people have their retirement in 100% stocks. And they are posting. I mean, I hope I could find the example, but there's like an older guy, Trump voter, who's where is it? Hopefully I can find it. He's like, hey, I have to work 5 more years based on this now. I can't retire. This is it. Okay, right here. Fucking, this guy's name is Biden is done 1, 2, 3, 4. You better be right with your tariffs. You just cost the middle class trillions, have added an extra couple years of extra work for people like me in our late 50s before we can retire. Still love your policies, but again, you better be right on this one. And I mean, I feel for this guy because everyone told him that this was not even the Trump thing, but like him being entirely into stocks for his retirement was the right move. And now it's like it's having real world impact on like whether or not he has less work and more peace in his old age. Like this sucks. Anyway, this is a real thing that's happening. And so when you zoom out like that, it's kind of stupid. But I saw this response that kind of made me laugh still based on all that, which is someone said, yeah, like, why are you even fucking worried? Here is the Dow Jones from the end of the Byzantine Empire until now. Like, I don't even see the fucking dip, dude. I don't even see the fucking dip. What are you bitching about? We're up. All right. I think that's a good update. What are you eating? Tropical Sour Patch Kids. My review is they're all right. The pineapple one and the passion fruit one are fire. But the other two are kind of mid. Worse than regulars. Are you Aiden pilled about leaving yet? No, I'm not Aiden pilled about leaving. No, I'm not. If anything, once Aiden leaves, this country will be like a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? One less twink. One less white guy podcast. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We'll have one less LA white guy podcast once he moves to Sweden. We're doing our part to make the world better. What is everyone fucking, I can't see pins. People say pin, and I can't see the pin. Because I'm looking through OBS. I have to fucking open this shit to see. I can't see it. Oh, they found the coupons? Wait, you found the real? Oh my God, wait, you did! Oh my God, I sent this to my fucking family.
Lit 5.
I'll see your 5 and raise you 5 more.
I call that, and I raise you 20.
Hold it right there! Them their coupons is expired.
Now hold on, boys. Coupons are still good overseas for an extra 6 months past the printed expiration date.
Oh, sorry.
By shopping with a fistful of coupons,
Freedom of wheat, boys.
you can save big on your grocery bill every time.
Holy cinema! It's actually better than I remember. It's actually a better shot than I remember. That's gorgeous. That's Scorsese. Anyway, that's funny because my mom, to this day, still goes, now hold on there, boys. That's fire, dude. That's fucking fire. I can't believe you found that. I'm going to send it to my fucking mom and dad tonight. That has 272 views. And I feel like at least 100 of them are from this chat right now. How'd you find that? I probably had 0 fucking views. Dude, look at the comments. We hated this commercial so much, they played it every third commercial break. To this day, we still quote, them their coupons is expired in every conversation. My dad was stationed in Mannheim back in the summer of 1999. I came from the plate all the time, so it's like my for damn near 25 years. Dude, that's fire. Thanks for finding that. That's awesome. That's actually going to make my family's day. Big A, do you think Social Security retirement should be raised? Age should be raised? Dude, it's tough. It's tough. Because if you are a younger person who is paid into Social Security your whole fucking life, you want the same benefits that everyone older than you got. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have the boomers live a free fucking ride on your payments their whole lives, and then right when it gets to you, it's unfunded. That feels kind of fucked up, right? So, more realistically, you'd find a way to fund it. I think Bernie has a plan where it lifts the income or wealth cap on how much you can get charged, and that funds it for at least 30 more years. I'm pretty sure that's the strategy I would most support. I will say where it becomes tenuous is not even really, even less of an American problem, but countries that have Social Security-like things are when they have such an inverted population pyramid. The hard part is when you have a lot of old people and fewer working age people. Like a Japan, or I think Italy's getting there. A lot of European countries are getting there. That's a problem that is like harder to wrap your head around, because you can't just like keep raising the taxes on people working to pay for an ever growing number of old people. I don't know. You got to figure something out, but I think that's a problem worth thinking about. But in America, our population pyramid is not inverting. It's just bad. It's just like flattening. So I think raising the cap works here. How can we effectively cut the military budget when the largest chunk goes to payroll? First of all, even a smaller chunk is a huge amount in the military because the budget is $1 trillion this year. Secondly, you can have fewer people. You can have fewer people. We have many bases that are essentially useless. I mean, they're not. We have a lot of bases worldwide that, especially under what is now an isolationist regime, don't even do anything. It's a ridiculous expenditure. There's no need for all that. Especially as we're now dealing with the impacts of these massive deficits. Like, we have to make hard choices, and that's not even that hard of a choice. Oh, okay. I do. Oh, wait a minute. What time is it? Okay, I will do a house tonight. I said I would, which means I need to start soon. I need to start very soon because I have to leave before 11. And I can't even do much pausing. So I need to start soon. Is there anything else I could talk about? I kind of did a update. Did you see Elon's free trade treaty? Yeah, I talked about it. I just talked about this. Did you just show up or like what? I'm gonna check your chat history. Were you here for Marketing Monday and then ask me this question? I just talked about this. I talked about. Okay, like I. Did you see Peter Navarro? Have you seen the video why Trump's tariff chaos actually makes sense? It's the one about getting borrowing costs down. Have I explained that? I mean, I can explain that real simply. So I'm steel manning. Because I can explain it. I'm going to talk about this on Lemonade Stand. But Okay. And I'll just do a real quick talk about this, okay? I'm gonna see if this is good. I need to practice it anyway because I want to talk about this. I want to make it simple as possible. It's kind of hard to understand, and I want to make sure you guys can get it. All right. Let's say, for example, you are a rich person. You have money. You're a bank. You're a pension fund. You're a wealthy person. You have money, okay? You're not broke. You got money. You don't want to sit that money in cash. Nobody ever wants to just sit in cash. All right? You want to put it into something so it grows and it's protected and it's safe. You have a lot of options for that. You could put it in stocks. You could put it in real estate. Real estate. You could put it in bonds. You could put it in gold. You could put it in a lot of things. Yeah, I'll put gold over here too. Gold. There's a million things you could put it in, but these are some of the main ones, right? These are some of the. You can put it in Dogecoin. You can put it in Fartcoin. I'll put Dogecoin on here. Dogecoin. All right. There's all these things you could put it in, but generally, people have been defaulting, especially in recent decades, especially in recent years, to stocks. Stocks have done so well that most people have been putting their money in stocks. Okay. It's not gold. It's gold. It's gold. They're putting their money in stocks. Now, generally, in the past, when the stock market has taken a tumble or had higher volatility or been chopping around or going down or been unreliable, when people aren't relying on the stock market to always go up so reliably, then they panic and move their money to bonds. Historically, that's been the historical pattern. Is in when U.S. stocks are in trouble, people buy bonds, U.S. debt. These are not bonds, they're bonds. Bonds. Fuck you. It's bonds. Okay? It's bonds. Okay? That's the idea. Now, I think this is simple, but just to get you around it. Again, I've talked about this a couple times. Bonds, U.S. IOUs, work like this. They go, hey, we want to borrow $100 billion. We'll give you 3% interest if you loan it to us. And then they look out in the world and everyone goes, crickets. We don't want it. And they go, okay, we'll give you 3.5% interest. Crickets. We'll give you 4% interest. And then someone goes, all right, I'll loan you the money. That's the idea. Okay? It's an auction. We keep raising the interest amount until somebody finally loans us the money. So if everybody's panicking in the stock market and they're rushing to bonds, that means the amount of interest you have to offer is lower. So you might say, we'll give it to you. We want to borrow $100 billion. We'll only give you 2%. But everyone's so desperate for bonds, they take it. That's the idea. That is the steel manning this idea. The idea is if we can tank the stock market, we can get enough people to buy government debt that we get our borrowing costs real low again. So we can finally refinance all of the trillions of dollars of government debt we have and lower our interest payments. That is the steel manning of the idea. Okay? And I can see some argument for it. Now, that being said, it's pretty insane, right? It's like burning down your house to cook a piece of toast. Because you're fucking up all of these jobs, all these people's economies, all these 401ks to get the U.S. borrowing costs a little bit lower. But that is one of the ideas floated. Here's the problem, is that in the past, when stocks are doing badly, everyone runs to U.S. bonds and they buy government debt. And that's why this idea should have worked. But what's happening this time is that big downswings in the stock market are not bringing bond yields down. Again, when this number is up, that means our borrowing costs are higher. It's a bad thing. You want this to go down. I'll go to 5-year. All right, I go to all actually. Like normally it's going down. Like in 2020, that's the best time to buy a house. But our costs are up and they're not falling. Again, our stock market is crashing, but our bond prices are not going down. There's no dip. It's not getting cheaper. Okay? So that whole plan, that whole steel man plan is not working. And it's because countries and big pension plans and wealthy people are not buying U.S. debt when they're scared. They're buying something else. They're moving to European stocks, or they're moving to real estate, or they're moving to gold, They're just not buying U.S. bonds, which is not a normal behavior. But it's finally happening. And one of the big buyers is like China, Japan. Those countries used to buy U.S. debt all the time. They're not doing it anymore. So like the auction is kind of drying up, and we can't seem to get it under, like back down to like 210. It's staying in 4. This is too expensive for our borrowing costs. So again, I know it's kind of complicated, but I want to explain that like people bring this idea up a lot, and I can see some of the merit for it, but it's not working. It's not working. Like our costs are not dropping, and we're having big drops in the stock market. What if you zoom out more? That won't affect it. Anyway, we're going to watch House now. It's been a long time. House MD Knights Pog Champion. Oh my God, it's Lupus. If you guys aren't new here, sometimes we watch an episode of the old show House MD with chat. It's a pretty fun time. We're in the final season, but you don't need to know too much to go into it. And it turns out the show's way fucking crazier than I remember from when I was younger. Way, way fucking crazier. And way more illegal. I'll give you a tiny bit of time to get a snack and a drink while I hit the lights and get this set up.